What's going on, guys? Your boy Rome here. Thank you again for tuning in. These videos have been so much fun to make. I really appreciate you guys coming on, watching the videos, subscribing, liking everything. It's been awesome just reading your guys' comments and all the support. I love you guys so much, man. I'm having the time of my life doing this stuff. These shows have been going amazing so far out here. We're like week 3 into the farewell tour and it is kicking butt. We're up in Hawaii. I thought we'd jump into something really cool here. Story time, okay? We're gonna go back in time here. Let's go back to the year was 2009. I was introduced to this band from Huntington Beach, California. They were mixing all this great sounds and genres, some hip hop, some reggae, some big songwriting and some awesome guitar solos and stuff. It was all over the place. Met these guys called the Dirty Heads. And immediately from hearing their music, I was like, these guys are awesome. I love the fusion of genres. Kind of honestly reminded me of what a modern day Sublime would be doing or something. So, needless to say, me and them got together one day and we decided to put together the song, Lay Me Down.
You can lay me down.
That song came together super organic. We wrote the song in Duddy's backyard. Took us a couple hours to put it together. The guys, Jared and Duddy, they created this theme around the song of cowboys and they're Western kind of thing, a couple running off into the sunset. I thought it was really weird, but what the heck do I know? I feel like actually that's the funny thing about creating is you never know what you're gonna create. You go into your creative space, whether it be your art studio, your recording studio, or in this case, someone's backyard. You just go in with an open mind and with good intentions and try and write a beautiful song, in our case. And we walked out with Lay Me Down and it was cool. We all felt like it was a rad song and then the song just sat around for a year. It did make it onto a compilation with other various reggae rock artists. I think it was the Peer Compilation 1 or something like that. Other than that compilation, no one really heard the song. This was before Spotify and stuff. So it was a very interesting kind of place to kind of exist with music. If it wasn't distributed through iTunes, no one really heard it because that's just how it was at that certain time. Fast forward to a DJ, shout out to Kevin Weatherly over at K-Rock. He heard the song, loved it, thought it was just a summer anthem, and he played the song on radio the day he heard it, and you guys, the fans, completely blew it up. You guys called the radio station in and were like, what is this song? It's amazing. That moment, from that point on, completely changed all of our lives.
So we're gonna bring a buddy out to play this next song that you've never ever heard. Make some noise for Rome Ramirez.
Let's make some noise for K-Rock, 21st year anniversary over here.
At that time, Dirty Heads were in the van. I was tagging along with them for the last 2 years. We were hitting all these little spots and we had Lay Me Down out, so we were performing that. And this moment that song was placed on radio, everything started to change because where there was maybe 25 people at some random club, now there was 100 people. It really changed the whole pace of everyone's career, myself included. This was where I really transitioned over from just starting to get to LA, just getting introduced to Sublime. I think I had jammed at this point with Bud and Eric maybe once or twice. Nothing solid in the books yet. And this song, Lay Me Down, takes off, goes #1. I get a publishing deal. Now, what's a publishing deal? Publishing deal essentially is when you make a deal with the publisher, essentially they pay you to write songs. They take a portion of the proceeds of where those songs go and then you get the rest. And in this case, it was an absolute dream come true because up until this point, I just figured that everybody wrote their own songs. Britney Spears, I figured she wrote all of her stuff. Turns out that that's not the case. You get people like me, you invite me into the studio and I'll write the songs, which is amazing. So when I did this publishing deal with Sony, one of the very first questions they asked me was, would you like to write songs for other artists? Man, that has been a dream of mine, especially after getting in the studio and doing it with the Dirty Heads and just seeing how collaborations can flourish. I was just this is something that I want to do. I want to work with and collaborate with as many songwriters, producers, and artists as possible. the moment that they offered me that opportunity to start jumping in the rooms with artists and other writers, I was like, absolutely, I'm all in. And that's what I just dove into. Aside from being on the road with Sublime, I was at home writing records every single day. I was driving to LA, I was living in Orange County, driving to Los Angeles every day, going to studios, working with the awesomest people that I look up to. Shout out to Benny Blanco. I've worked with Benny a whole bunch on music and worked with killer producers like Jeff Basker and Dr. Luke and just guys that I've like looked up to in the music world for a long time, and get to bump shoulders with them and get to be in the studio and watch how they create records. And that led me to being able to get in the studio and write and produce for artists like Selena Gomez and Enrique Iglesias and Jason Derulo, Blues Traveler, Dirty Heads, like all kinds of stuff. And it just kept coming and coming and coming. And I feel like being a music producer was almost like a calling of mine, because it's something that I just do by nature, is just want to help artists and get in the studio with them, help deliver the music that's in their head. And I feel like it's just an absolute gift to be able to, I guess, kind of help creatives channel what they're hearing in their head and make it come to life in the speakers. So through songwriting and producing, it's like opened up so many different doors and avenues to just go down and explore, you know, crazy situations. You know, I've worked with members from Run DMC, and I've been to J-Lo's house recording music in her studio, walking through her living room, like crazy stuff, you know what I mean? Like things that I'd have to pinch myself and be like, is this really happening? But it is, and that's just because I've dedicated my life to my craft and my love for music. I always try and keep things from a very pure place. I don't try to think about the money or trying to make moves and get smart. You know, that doesn't lead to good art. What leads to good art is just being honest and doing things with the best intentions. And with me, that's how I treat music, and I've been very, very blessed with just the avenues that music has taken me through life.
Well, all that to say, it's time for a change. Now, I will always be working with other artists. It's a huge passion of mine, especially when I find an artist who's like up and coming, who I see just has like a lot of talent and a lot of drive. It makes me just want to kind of continue the knowledge and the blessings that I've had to kind of help them out. But I realize that there's only so many hours in the day, and there's only so many days in a year. And to really take something to its, you know, furthest heights, you really have to give everything you have. And I've taken a lot of things off my plate, Sublime with Rome being one of them, where now I can fully focus on developing this music and this message and building this community even bigger and taking it all over the world. It's an absolute dream of mine to be able to have this opportunity and be able to focus on it full time. And because of you guys, I really am able to do that, and I'm so grateful for that. I have a lot of music that I've been working on, and I'm even putting together a really cool project of some covers that I just really love. You guys have heard some of them. I'm going to be releasing them soon on Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff. Please make sure you follow me on those channels so when the songs drop, you'll be the first ones to hear them. It really does help. Anyway, I hope some of this advice helps you guys. I know sometimes it really helps me to just get it off my chest. And when I speak to other creatives out in the wild, we're all kind of talking about the same thing. It's really just trying to do the most and do our best, but you know, with as little time as we have possible and sometimes resources. So thank you guys again for the patience, for the new music, and thank you guys for checking out all these new videos always and sharing them. I see a lot of the stuff, and I love you guys, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the Discord if you want to catch up with other fellow Romies. A lot of good stuff coming, guys. All right, see you out there.